it and down. Still aware of everything. Life carries on without. There's one many faces, dollar sign smile. Gotta find the sort of path to the bar. For a while, a long way from happiness. Been free all the way down. Whiskey bottle over to
I see some. Oops. Ah, YouTube, please don't. Don't get me. Don't get me. I'm hooking up.
And it's like a calendar, like a TN.
All righty. Well, I can't find my video. There we go. Alrighty. Ian, Cheshire. One of these days I'm going to do some watercolor and some oil and some pastels. But right now I'm on colored pencil. So, welcome, welcome. We'll wait. Y'all just chat and we'll see where we're going here. Ian, I think well, we're not supposed to talk about politics. Never mind. So what y'all working on today? Getting ready. Maybe I could sharpen some pencils. I need a long point sharpener. I thought I had one. Of course, I could have one and not know it. That's not too bad. From this little made in Germany. I think it's Pentel. General. My God, I didn't know General had stuff made in Canada. I thought they were, Germany. I thought they were Chinese. Well, their Conte's still not any good, so there's that. And I've got this Chrome eraser, but Doesn't have any markings. Got another one somewhere. Oh, that's doing a good job. Wonder where everybody is. Is somebody finishing up a video? I watched Lena. She's been done for about an hour. Excuse me. I think I've got a pencil lead stuck in there. Dang it. I understand. Oh my God, Joycey's not talking. Somebody write that down. These things, the triangular ones I got from Koh-i-Noor, are supposed to sharpen in a jumbo sharpener, but they're not on this one. Hey, Lori. I bet I can put some people to sleep today. Excuse me. I'm here. There's the other one of those. What happened to the eraser? It's an eraser. And I've got one of those fancy ones that everybody said you gotta have. Little one. Could it be in the pencil jar, maybe? No. Nope. I never think about these things unless I'm online. I've got to take that jar with me today. Maybe it's in here because I've got some acrylic brushes that have been sitting there, broken the rules, and I need to get those cleaned. And I'll see this eraser sometime and I'll go, there it is. no. I need Kimberly. It's little. How are you? Okay. Now go off on that tangent. You're good. Oh, that one has to be washed. Okay. Who's here? Oh, Bunch popped in. Jelly. I think we're about ready to start. Da 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 da. I did this over the weekend. Because if y'all don't know me by now, you'll know that I get on something and I don't want to quit. I'm going to try to get you down lower. High-tech equipment there. That's better. Better. You don't need to see my messy desk. Okay, I worked on this just because I need to get some mileage on colored pencil. And that's the only way you get better is just get some paper and get some colored pencil on it. Hi, Caribby. I could go through here and tell you all the things that are wrong with this little thing, but I'm not gonna. I learned a long time ago that you're as a portrait artist, you're trained to find where your work needs to be better. It does not mean that you're being critical of your own work. It's that you're looking at it with a practiced eye. Okay, so there's a difference than saying, she just looks awful. She's got her eyes are wrong. I mean, you can't do that. What you do is look at it and you study it as though I was studying somebody else's painting and figure out where it's off. And you can either fix it or go on to the next one. The background on this is India ink. And I told y'all last week that I had that book where she used India ink. And I got a pretty darn good coverage here. And I used my Crayola color maker that's full of India ink. And that's what did this. Now the alternate is to do a brush with India ink, but it gives you a really nice matte finish. And I diddled over here with the hair using the new Pit Pen India ink. So it's water fast, it's permanent, and it's really good. This is the point. It says 1.5. I belong to the I pay for the subscription box on Art Snacks, and that's where I get all these pens and stuff. One-offs. I mean, you get one of it. Hey, Becky. I will say this. I have her looking way too young. Not that one. This one. So that's something that could be done different. Not now, but all right. So put this one away. I went into Photoshop. This is part of what I do when I'm doing a real portrait. My laser printer, for some reason, is not holding toner, so it tells me it's got probably a waste bin that needs to be emptied. but I Photoshop it and put it down to 5 levels. And in that way, I can kind of get a head start on the drawing. And we're doing Grisalle today. And I'm not saying that right. Grisalle. Grace something. Grace. Anyway, it means grayscale in French. And in Italian, it's called well, Verde is green. I can't remember, but the Grisaille in Italy is green. And it's perfect for skin tones. So then, because y'all were coming real quick, I decided to trace it, which I do some, I don't some. Actually, my drawing on the girl is really better than the traced version. So I don't know if I'll be able to. Oh yeah, I'll be able to. But so all I did here is got a head start with the real darks, which is that, and then the next dark, which is that, and then I'm going to fill in the rest of it, and we'll go from there. So right now I'm kind of just coloring. Are there any questions? Because y'all know how I get. Hey, Beth. I just picked, because there's not a color family of green with 5 values, I just tried to pick 5 that were in a value, and I put it right here. I didn't bear down real hard, but I just wanted to be able to tell them apart. And if you're working with soft pastels of a decent brand, probably starting with Rembrandt, you'll have 4 or 5 of the same color. So like if it's a certain particular green, there'll be a lighter and a darker in those greens in that same color family, the same pigment. So, but colored pencil is set up that way, and you wouldn't have enough room for all of them anyway. So I am sticking mostly with polychromos in the beginning. And I want to use some of these Kohinoors, but I haven't got a pencil sharpener sharp enough to pencil them. I mean, sharpen them. I've tried, but I'll have to look to see what I've got. I like these because they're going to add, they will add color variation quickly. Okay, so I've done the dark. And the next, let's see, I'm going to work on these a little bit more. This has been a hard roadmap to follow because I, of course, didn't take much time with it. That's the bad thing about being a wiki. Her mind jumps all over the place, and then she says, wait a minute, hold it. I need something else there. It's too late. So we're just going to wing it. Mainly, I want to see how this process works in color pencil. And my tracing lines are so light, I can hardly see them. This is a method that I use in oil painting a lot. It's an old master's technique, which they used back in the days when pigment was expensive. And so the readily available pigments were the earth tones, the ochres, the siennas, umbers. So they would use those an awful lot to get block in their painting and get a lot of the issues resolved with the inexpensive paints. And then they would come back and add the expensive colors on the top layers. See, you learned something from me today that you didn't even know you needed. Figured I better start while the iron's hot, because once I move on to something else, I won't come back to these for a while. And y'all have seen me do flash tones with green first, or green in the shadow areas. This is basically the same reason. Being skin tone is mostly red, and the complement of red is green, so it makes a more vibrant red to have green. Because if everything was just flat local color, it wouldn't be near as interesting. So we're going to see. That's supposed to be lighter, but that's okay. That's all right. And I can't see, of course, my... And I'm filling some of this in by looking at the picture again, because my tracing was in a hurry. I'll try to look more today since I'm coloring. Yeah, I'm gonna put you in timeout. Speak up now, or what? I'm in the spending. Hey, Branson, I'm in the spending timeout. I want to say thing, but can't. But can't date it right. Are you drinking again, Joycey? Hey, Judy. Have you not used your phone for movies? That's about the only way I use mine. I mean, that's about the only way I watch one. Okay, that is here. When you're doing stuff like this, you sometimes go, "Oh, I didn't even think about that." The dark shapes are basically surrounded by the next darkest shape, and that shape is surrounded by the next darkest. And then you get to your lightest that way. So that's kind of cool. I'm basically just doing shapes. I'm on hot press paper. Thank you very much, Miss Vaughn. Cruise home filming. So he didn't come through here and do something like Shannon Green's hubby does.
What do you think, Minnie? You're a bad girl. What you got? You got brown berry in your mouth?
I'm filming.
Still Brenda. Little Brenda. Number.
Sure did help having the darks blocked in. So I can barely see my lines. Ah. Sounds like somebody went to the grocery store. Here's my white spot. I'm trying to get these stay. I need some more black right there's where my line is. Excuse my head. This is all. Okay, I think that's pretty good for that one. Okay, take a break. See what y'all are talking about. What won't work about your phone, Joycey? Yeah, that's what I say, Jilly. It's nonsense. Cool. Just entertain yourselves. Now, automatically, this one is looking like an older woman than mine. Mine looks kind of young. Okay, now I need some more of this dark. It's not showing totally, but I know it's there. Thanks, babe. All right, so there's 2. And number 3 would be this one. 3, 4, 5. All right, so this one. The Photoshop one is showing this little section all medium, but I'm not going to do that. And didn't show any light right here on the nose. Okay, now I'm going to have to get serious about the eyes. It's a good place to edit those. Get the darkest dark again. And this one is right here. A little bit bigger than they need to be, but there you go. Now let's check on the nose. If you're trying to get a likeness of somebody, you have to be a whole lot more careful. Okay. Not okay. Well, that's right there. Pretty darn close. Alrighty, that's the second. Nope, you're not done yet. I need this back. And this may not work, and you know what? If it doesn't, it's quite all right. That's what you call quick scribble. And somewhere, some professional colored pencil person is going, "Hack, you'll never get there from here." I'd watch. Okay, now we go up here. Can't see my lines. Stuff going every which way. I posted the one I did yesterday and the day before on a colored pencil site. They said it looked painterly. So my scratchy, scribbly lines are making it painterly. And just because I'm practicing, playing really, this is the blending tool that came with, I think it was, gosh, which one was it? It was either Polly's or Luminance. This should just deposit a little more wax on the surface, which is Except I'm using poly. Well, then if this is wax, who knows? I just want to see what it does. And so now I'm going to get my Prismacolor Premier marker. Now what this does, it will dissolve the oil and wax binders and make these colors, at least behind the pigment. So that's what the solvent does. I want to get these burnished. Wow, what a difference. I bet I was holding that where you couldn't see it, wasn't I? Movies, movies, movies. Spring cleaning. I haven't even done my winter cleaning. Well, for the last 3 or 4 years. Hey, CB. This is a 140-pound hot press by Stonehenge Legion. Thanks to Miss Vivon, I put down polychromos pencils and just a value sketch. This is called a Grisalle. Grissale, I believe. I usually have to look it up. And what I'm doing now is melting the wax, melting the binder in the pencils. And that's what's making it smoother. And again, this is what the old masters use in oil. Veridicchio, that's the green one in Italian. Veridicchio. Got to roll it. Veridicchio. So this is the 3rd time I've done this particular face. I did it on a piece of deli paper first. And then I did it on hot press. Kind of a layering technique that I'd use in oils and pastels. And then this one I'm using the Grisalle. Just see, you see, it's what makes the world go around. And there's a lot of things that other people research better than I do, so. This is the stuff that makes you get a little high. Of course, I belong to an age where we had mimeograph papers. printed in purple. Does anybody remember that? When it just came back from the office, it smelled so good. Now look how real this looks already with the waves. And just because we did a dark and then a medium and then a lighter. I remember having to type the masters when I was in office, whatever, office machines class. The boys didn't have to take that one. This is acetone, like fingernail polish remover. But you can't use fingernail polish remover because it's got oils and stuff in it. Ordinarily, this would be the kind of project that I would take my time with and enjoy the process. You know, instead of going 90 to nothing, I would probably do more like that. But I know how easily you all get bored, so Miss Lena had a good stream today. It's another reason you want to use good paper, is because not every paper can take this kind of abuse. You'd end up with peel marks all over it. It's crooked as it can be. This also involves some of the teaching I do in my school. A lot about these kind of basics. And if you follow the basics of tone, value, temperature, color, your paintings will look a whole lot better right from the get-go. All right. Now let's see where we're off. That's the edge of the nose. So the edge of the mouth should be out there a little bit. And I'm working up a way that Lena started taking the class, and I'm working up a way that I can offer it without the supplies. Straight line, please. Duh. Straight line, please. Part of that is shadow, and part of that we're not seeing, so it's darn close. My last two colors aren't really necessary because you're not going to be able to see them. Well, you can a little. This would be the lightest light. I love painting these old film stars. Let's see, there's some of that up here. And then we come down. I also didn't stress too much over where it sits on the paper because she can be cropped. If you're working on a canvas or something that's already stretched, you do need to worry or pay attention to. Okay, now we've got a few little around some of these whiter areas. We've got a little band of next to our lightest light. Not too much out in the hair. I already did that. The computer's showing just a little bit of a hazy outline where these colors change. And we're just going to play along. Mhm. See, we already have form. All right, I'm going to let that sit for just a few minutes and see what you guys are doing. Overhead projectors make that smell too, Beth? Yeah, remember the sound they made, Branson? Click, 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 click. Sound like a, God, what was that movie from Missouri? The Inglorious Bastards. Hear that film thing clicking around. Thanks, Beth. Look at that crooked eye. Crooked eye, crooked eye. All right, let's do some of this. I've got to determine first which eye is closer to correct. I'm going to go to the top of her head. It's that one. Well, not very much. Just that little bit. Okie dokie. Now, once you got one of these all the way to where you want it, and I'm hoping that I can make minor corrections later, then you do what's called a dead layer. And the dead layer is where you go over the oil painting with a real thin white, and it kills it. I mean, it just deadens it. But then you're ready to glaze with your final colors. I've got a Prismacolor because they're supposed to be the best marker, you know, the best to leave down a good mark. You can kind of see it working. And it's cool. It's working, it's working, it's working. I'm going to go all the way around it once and then come back and go the other direction. And then the master artist would come in, 3 or 4 days later after everything was dry, and he would mix up transparent color, and he would glaze to get his real color. And that meant that the hard to get pigments would be used sparingly at the end and be less expensive because he'd already done all the hard work. And by the time you do a grayscale like this, you've almost finished your painting. All you got to do now is trace over it. Now, anything y'all want me to do, lesson-wise or show you wise, let me know. Oops, I need to sharpen again. I don't think there's a medium that I haven't tried and worked on good enough over a long period of time to get fairly good at. And yes, somebody said, look, it looks good in the Grisalle. Yes, it does. And I have been really tempted before to leave them. I'm just deciding because I want to cross. I'm going to have to get 2 or 3 white pencils in here. The other thing that this does is just kind of melds the tones together. Making my arm hurt. If I had my chair up a little higher, it would help. All right. Da, da, da. She definitely looks older than mine that I did by drawing it. We'll see what it looks like when I finish. Okay. Cool beans. Katrina. Grisalle, yes. Thank you, Carol. And in green, it's called Veridaccio, which is Italian for green. It's mostly common for oil painters. I've done it in pastel, but because pastel is an opaque medium, you're not seeing any of the underpainting showing. I don't know. She looks a little pudgier in the cheeks, maybe. She looks innocent. Katrina, what I'm doing is colored pencil, and I'm doing it in four or five values. I've got 5, I think, on here, which gives me the roadmap for adding the color. Green, the skin color is mostly red. So if you put green under it, it makes the red more vibrant. It also tones it down just a little bit, but it makes for a very interesting color. If this is right and you pay attention to what you've got here, then your final painting will be right. So that's all it is. I just did the what's called the gray layer. Sometimes it's just kind of fun to have what you're painting already resolved before you jump in with your color, which is what was done here. Does that make sense? Yeah, Beth, that involved those little metal clips, didn't it? And my tissue paper one is down in the pile somewhere. Okay, now we're done with the greens. I didn't use any of these. I don't know why I put that over there, but I did. I don't have anything here. I got room for some more. Let me flip these in this case real quick. I've got my suitcase also lined out by value, so that anything in that value range, well, I'll show you in a minute. I guess that'd be the easiest thing to do. I've done it before, but I'll show you. It's not perfect, but this is also what I do to my pastels. Maybe I can get to the finish stuff. Well, there's a video on the tissue paper one. No, I can't get to it. That's making a big mess. Okay, now I need to put my camera up to show you this. Okay. Got this idea from Vaughn, And I found it after a couple hour searches. I did not find it on AliExpress or Wish, but this one was fairly reasonable, and I had a credit. What are you doing? Look at that screen. Okay. You may have to copy this link to put it in. It's my Amazon store, and I make a few pennies. So actually what it does is helps me keep the store open. Okay. You have your lightest lights, and they're kind of weak on the lightest lights. That helped a little. Both sets. These are polychromos and luminance. This one's too dark. But what the deal is, when you look at these through a red screen, if not the color on the barrel, but the color on the pencil, they should all feel about the same. So of course I said that one's too dark, that one's too dark. And then those are your lightest lights and your medium lights. And then you go to your lightest mediums, which is here. And you got some over here. Pretty close. A couple of these could go on the other page, but it's close. And these are too dark for that area. So, okay, and then we go to, we still have more. Now we're going into the mediums. Just a little bit darker. I should show you on this side so you could see. See, we're about in here at a value 5. This one we're in here, about in here. And then we flip over, and these are the dark mediums, which are mostly here by looking at the leads. And then we go into the light darks. Nope, we're still in mediums, the dark mediums. So we're easing into this. And more of the dark mediums. These are about right in here. Maybe your light darks. And then your plain darks. And then these are your real darks. Now, values. And I cover all this in the school, so I just hit the floor. When you deal with values, you should see, I had five pencils out. You should see 5 values. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're kind of through here, and we also have a lighter one here. So here's our lightest out here. And then you come in with this one next. And then this one. And then that, and then that. So you should see a distinct change between the steps of the color. Lightest lights are here, about like that. And then we come into this for the face. And then this color is in here. This color is on the side of the face. We've got the dark here. And then the darkest dark in here. So that's what you aim for. Clear as mud. Let me see. I know, Katrina, it's intermediate to advanced theory, color theory. It's all value is the lightness and darkness of a color. And so what we've done here is eliminated the color. So all you're worrying with is the dark and light tones. But yeah, it is. Okay. I'm going back to my pencils. Oh, let me show you this. Technically, any color in a value range, like I said, dark lights, I could theoretically pick any color from that section, which is roughly here, and I could use it in a painting side by side. You won't notice it from far away. It will look like this from far away. But if I use any of these colors in here, then they're going to, when you get up close to it, you're going to see them. So which gives it interest. And again, that's why I do that. I do it in pastels even. Okay, I was going to pick colors. Damn, this thing's big. Lightest light. I want this creamy ochre. What is that called? Titanium buff. I'm going to try this little fleshy tone. And I may need to come back for a white. Now my middle tone. Now I'm going to go ahead and try to do this the way I normally do. Can't find my ochre. Ochre. That might be it right there, and it's not really in a good spot. More ochre, and then I'm going to pick a little pinkier red. We've got green, so I don't need green. And now for the medium dark, I need something like this. And for the dark, something like this. So there's my color. I do like this suitcase though, because it keeps it all together. Okay. Okay, I'm going. Okay, I think I covered that question. Rejoicey. I'm checking. Okay, y'all doing a good job answering for me. Well, you don't want him eating your pan pastels. They're more valuable than chicken. Hey, Jules. How are you? I know it's late where you are. All right. Here are my colors. Now I'm going to come in where I know my lightest color is. Because she should have some glow on her skin. And remember that these pencils are transparent. So my green will continue to show through. I'm going to erase a little bit of this if I can. Nope, it's not coming up. So we'll do it with pencil. And this area is. There's really not a whole lot of that value. There's a lot of it in the hair, but I don't want to do the hair. The hair on the one I did over the finished yesterday was a bitch. I've got 10,000 colors in that platinum hair. Now I'm going to come in with my medium dark. Shouldn't be using too much of this in the hair. That's what I fought with yesterday. Try to get as much of this done as I can so y'all can see it. 19, we're doing good on time. My ADHD doesn't really kick in until 2 hours in here. I'm going over the entire area of the dark and medium dark. Staying away from my light. Platinum hair back in the 20s and 30s was more bluish silvery. And so I'm trying to stay out of it right here. Not in the hair. Get out of the hair. All right, now I'm going to go into my darkest dark to restate some of these dark shadows. that appear beside her face. I can't stay out of the hair. Okay, now more ochre. And I'm not going to get on top of what I just put down. It is my darkest dark. I'm staying away from the darkest dark and the lightest light. I just went over that one, but we're not going to count it. Flesh tone is here. That's all hair. That's okay. All right, let me check what y'all are doing. Ooh, it's kind of long. This was made in one of my art classes. Let me show you this other one. It is commercially made. Are you in there? Give me a few. Don't ever try to reorganize your studio. Yeah. Now you can buy this film online, and I've got it in the store. But it's a little bit darker, just a hair darker than this. I don't know where the teacher bought this, but these are just grayscales from the paint store. Okay, so you know you can buy that. But this is a commercially done one. You can tell it's been used. It's called Picture Perfect 3-in-1. This has your red. It has your composition lines for three different sizes. Has a good value scale and different ratios, which y'all aren't going to be much interested in. A lot of stuff back here that doesn't help, but this part does. Okay, this is 3-in-1 value finder. Picture Perfect. It is on my store. And I appreciate your service. Every little bit helps. I'm going to check the rest of the chat rest for a minute. Ooh, what'd you get, Branson? A vacuum hose. Darn it. What's 17, Debbie? The viewfinder? All right, here I am with my, I'm going to put some more ochre down. Okay. Here comes the magic. Ah. Here's another little art trick. The other thing the green does to the red is it cools it down. And if you'll notice, oh, and then cools it down. So cool colors recede. So if you can cool down this red, it will make it recede, which helps give it form. Because if you paint the whole thing the same color, the same value, it won't show as a face or a shape. I'll put the camera back down. Oh, great. Come on. I got my bracelet hooked around the camera cord. Okay. Now, as we start building the skin tones, they can become more opaque. And I'm not real sure how you do that in colored pencil. That's right. Like this one. Put that in the eyes. Come back in with another layer of ochre. I've never done this before, you guys, with colored pencil. And this may turn out not to be good. I don't think I did ochre down there. Okay, so if Prismacolors, I don't have very many Prismas. There's our first problem. Hang on, I'm coming right back. I'm just picking out, trying to see what I've got. I've got 3 more colors. And I've got this, I thought I pulled a beige. There's the darker red I just picked up. These are Prismas, and I think they're going to be more opaque. I did pull that lighter ochre. Yeah, Titan Buff. So these two are pretty good. All right, I'm going to do something now. I'm making this up as I go along. So let's have a little look at what's going on. Katerina, I just put the flesh color, little flesh. Eyes are never white. Yeah, if you do the long lead sharpening, which my pencil sharpener doesn't really do too well. See, they get way down. They get lead all the way down here, but then you hold your pencil back here so that you can get the full width of that lead, and you rotate it every once in a while to keep it from breaking. I'm going to go over the whole thing with this buff titanium. I can see it making a difference. I don't think y'all can. But it will add to the opacity. See, if I had it to do over again, I would have been softer on that line. Okay, that's helping. I need a drink of water now. If I was doing this in soft pastel, it'd be a slam dunk. My ADD starts kicking in. I'm not crazy about this section right through here. Coming back in with the white Prisma. You do this on a block, take the paper off before you draw on it. I'm picking up some indentations from previous page. All right, now let's work on the mouth. Maybe that will help. This looks like a tinted photo now. You know, Tommy, tinted photo. And she's got more of a dip thingy. She looks kind of like the Joker. Wait. This is all about how shapes turn into the light. I'm not crazy about this down here. I said I was said I was going to work on the eyes. Cover that up with white. I should have thought about it. And shade the eyeball so that it turns. Okay. Talking to myself. I'll do that when y'all aren't here too. It's just a black marker. Real thin. It's a 0.25 millimeter. Now when you draw, it's not also not wanting to work on this paper. I mean on all the wax. Okay, put that one on. Let's try this one. Oh yeah, baby, bring it. I don't draw individual eyelashes. Big old pupil. Got that one a little bit thick, didn't I? Okay. I keep threatening to do y'all in oil. I think I overdid the iris just a little bit, but we're going with it. Oh, it took off the green. I mean, took off the color. No worries, little mama. We'll get you. Ooh, those eyes. I'm not looking right down on them either, and that makes a big difference. This looks like a white girl down at the rub and tug massage parlor. Look what you just did. Oh, oh, oh. I know a lot of colored pencil artists do this. I don't think it's for me. You never know until you try. Might be just what you need. This is really the way paintings go. It's just a push and pull. Put some on, take it off, cover it up. When a shape curves like that, the light will form a rim of red right on the cusp of that turn. So that's what this is. I'm not that unhappy with her face. Get some dark red in there instead of that. I want that right there. Just want to soften that just a little. Not too shabby. I got that new Faber Castell pit. Not a bad skin color. Break this up just a little bit. Is anybody still with me? Note on lips, don't put dark green on if you're doing this. Just a little bit of light at the top of the brow bone. Not that much. She looks like an alien. Just a little. Now, she definitely looks older than this girl. All right, let's see what's going on with you guys. Okay, I'm looking. Okay. Thank you, Katrina. All of these are, this is polychromos, and it is Rose Carmen. And this one is Prisma Poppy Red. Ordinarily, when I do a skin tone in painting or in pastels, I work with, I don't like it. I work with Cad Red and Yellow Ochre for my skin tones. So I'm adjusting a little. This is just big. But I could keep working on it. Will I? Probably not. Okay, let me see what else. Color red. Okay. Polychromos and luminous with just a little bit of what I have for Prismas. Prismas are softer. Thanks, Judy. That eye still looks wonky to me, but I'm not gonna worry about it. Hey, Topaz. Did you get my drift, Katrina? I'm also seeing it's more red on my The screen's got her more yellow, more Polynesian looking. It's close. All right, any more questions? I'm just layering yellow ochres and reds, kind of trying to get a skin tone. But what happens when you look at this up close is that you see all the depth of color that's gone in there. This looks like she's been out in the sun. And I hate dark lipstick, but that's what she's got. I may not do the hair. I may just leave her like that. Thanks, Jules. And I should have some real dark right up in here. Oh, goodness. Gotten everything I ever learned over here. Step away from the painting. Actually, I like my skin tone here better, where I was just working on the white of the paper. All right. 6:15. Good Lord, that's longer than usual. Thank you. What red? I said. This one is Prismacolor. No, it's not. Polychromos. Carmen. Oh, Cad Red. Middle Cad Red. And this one's the Prisma, the Poppy Red. And the pink is Rose Carmen. I didn't use the pinks very much. And this is Prisma Pink. Ooh. Rub and tug. I see if I were in pastel, I could just come over that with a lighter color and it'd be great. But we're not going to get too picky, are we? Okay, guys. Thanks for stopping. I think we all learned a little bit today. She looks... Thank you. I'll quit making fun of her now. Woo. Okay. Okay. Let's just say it's easier to do skin tone in pastels or oils than it is with colored pencil. But you can see on here a little better. Well, my camera's doing pretty darn good. You can see the different colors that go into making the overall color, particularly in her hair. I've got warm colors in it, and then I've got a lot of cool colors. I wish I could find that other one easy, but I can't. I don't know where she went in that pile. Okie doke, guys. I love you. And we're going to call this one done. I am so glad that you tuned in. And we'll come up with something fun to do on Thursday. Ow, at 4. Okie doke. I am out of here. Bye.